Hi and welcome to Bent TV. I'm Matthew Wade, the editor of the Star Observer.
And I'm Renee Wade and I work within the disability sector.
And today we're here to talk about what it's like growing up with an LGBTIQ sibling. Renee here is my twin. We're twins, obviously, both queer. And previously we talked a little bit about what it's like, I guess, discovering your sexuality and also having a queer sibling and also coming out and what that's like when two people in the family come out. And now I want to talk a little bit about beyond that, moving a bit more close to present times. I guess now that you're out, completely, there's, obviously you have a growth period during high school, but now that you're out and proud, I mean, what has it been like knowing that your brother or your twin is also queer? Like, has that played any kind of role in how you see your own identity or just how you move around in terms of your sexuality? Like, I mean, has it played a role?
I think for me, I'm quite used to it now. Growing up, once you came out, having that person there, other than my, other friends and family, it was quite a comforting thing knowing that you were also going through the same things as me, and even though our journeys have been quite different, if ever I was having a period where I was feeling a little bit more self-conscious or having any struggles, you were there as well, going through pretty much the same thing. Yeah,
it's not necessarily like a super overt thing. It's just more the knowledge that, I guess a lot of people in the queer community have like what they call their chosen family, which is like when people get rejected or feel isolated from their families because they don't accept them for being LGBTIQ. They kind of find a family through friendships and people in the community. But I guess having someone in your own biological family who's also queer and, like you said, has experienced the same things, it's almost just like a subtle little comforting thing, like you're saying, just knowing that there's someone in your family that has experienced, to an extent, the same things that you have. And I guess for me, it's really nice sometimes. I mean, I obviously do a lot of queer stuff, working for the Star Observer, and I'm always writing about queer stories and out and about in the community. It's really nice. Every now and again, I just reflect and think, oh, it's really nice that I know, my sister has, is in a queer relationship right now. She's queer. It's just kind of like a really nice thing to know. When we spend time with our extended family, like they're great as well, but it's just nice to know that I'm not the only one there. Like I'm not the only gay in the village, so to speak. We haven't done a crazy amount of things together in terms of queer things. I mean, we've been to Joy together, and I mean, we're on Bent TV at the moment, but have you ever been, I guess, enticed or interested in the idea of, I guess, spending time together in queer settings? I know queer siblings that kind of do their own thing, and we often do our own thing, but there are also queer siblings that like to go and do stuff in the community together. I mean, is that something that's ever appealed to you or not?
Yeah, I think we probably haven't done too much in the past, but as I continue to get older and grow and, as do you with your partner as well, I think it's something that I'm trying to actively be a bit more involved within the community. Yeah, for sure.
Have you, I guess, with your either current relationship or in past relationships, I mean, or actually just people in your life generally, have you seen people who maybe have not the best kind of relationship with their family as a queer person? And has that made you reflect? So for me, I guess, when I've seen people that have unfortunately been, ostracized from their families, or even not to that extent, even if they're just kind of, it's something that's never spoken about because they don't feel comfortable talking about their boyfriend or girlfriend or whoever it is, it does make me feel very grateful. And I'm very lucky because I guess I have somebody in my life like you who, I mean, the rest of our family are obviously completely accepting as well, but someone that actually also has the same identity as me in a way. Has that happened to you where I guess you encounter people who have had not as great experiences with their biological family, and that's made you reflect, I guess, on our own family and having a queer twin? I mean,
I think luckily I haven't come into too many contact with my friends or people that I've met who have had that type of situation occur, which is great for those particular people. But yeah, I think if I were to meet more people in those types of situations, I'd like to think that I'd make an effort to make them feel comfortable, but also not push them or force them into having any conversations they don't want to have either.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm curious, like, I guess, given our background, like in high school, we went to the same high school together, and we spoke earlier, obviously, about what it was like discovering our respective sexualities and coming out. I guess knowing that in retrospect, is there anything that I guess you would have done maybe differently? I mean, maybe this is a bit of a curveball question, but what I'm saying is, like, you kind of know roughly like how I moved through high school. I know how you roughly moved through high school. But I guess, like I was saying earlier, our journeys were parallel and we were in the same house, the same school, but most of the time they didn't really overlap, even though we were aware that we were both kind of going through something similar. What I'm trying to say is there anything that I guess you would have done differently or that you would have navigated differently, or is that the way it would have played out?
I think looking back, I would have made more of an effort to have those conversations with you because, at different stages, we both had troubles with, other people at school making negative comments and those types of things. So we probably struggled with those things separately, whereas I wish we probably could have had more conversations and really supported each other through some of those harder things that occurred.
It's hard because I guess as an adolescent, like you kind of, we were going through our own personal struggles, and like for me, I can only speak for myself, but it was really hard a lot of the time for me. And so for me, the thought of trying to get through my own crap and then also still at the same time reach out and try to help you through everything just was too overwhelming, because then I'm like, I'm already going through this, and it's like, as a young person it can feel really overwhelming. But for me, similarly to yourself, like I wish, and again, hindsight is always 20/20, but I wish like I could have, I guess at the time, if we were more open about it, if we kind of had an inkling that each other was whatever earlier on, if we were open about it more earlier, it may have changed. I mean, I don't know if it would have changed anything. Maybe it wouldn't, but it also may have. In saying that, obviously, I'm really happy with who we are today. I'm really proud of you, and I think that our respective journeys are what have led us to this point. But it's just interesting to consider, like, as queer siblings, when we were younger, if we had been open about our own journeys earlier, whether that would have changed our high school experience or even our country town experience. I don't know. I guess, are you happy with, I guess, that trajectory that you had? I mean, is there anything independent of me that you regret, or are you kind of like, no, that's the path that's led me to where I am now?
Yeah, I think it's the path that led me to where I am. But I think if I was maybe a little bit more open, I used to kind of keep a lot of things to myself or things that I was going through. If I guess, communicated that with you a little bit better, we could have both maybe felt more comfortable in ourselves earlier than we did as well.
Yeah.
I think that probably would have helped a little bit. But we're both where we are now and doing well. So I guess I probably, I wouldn't change anything necessarily if it wouldn't go the way that I wanted it to, I suppose. And
I hope it's one of those things where I guess we are incredibly lucky to have somebody like ourselves, like a twin, a sibling, not even a twin, but just a sibling or someone in the immediate family who is also queer. I just hope if you ever want to, we're always here for each other. Like, I never feel that I couldn't necessarily reach out to you if I needed to, and I hope you feel the same, because it's one of those things where I'm like, it's a rarity to have somebody in your immediate family go through something like as specific as same-sex discovery, same-sex attraction discovery. I feel really lucky, and I'm also proud of obviously the person you've become. But I think our journeys together have really kind of made us into who we are now. And I feel very privileged to have a queer sibling as well.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us today on Bent TV. We've been talking about obviously being queer siblings. Until next time, I'm Matthew, and thank you to Renee for joining me.
Thank you.